Hi everyone, kind of all through this week I'm going to be doing some series about the Q4 earnings that came out last week. Pretty much all my stocks reported their earnings last week, apart from Adobe. I think was the only one that didn't report any earnings, and as well as that, as stocks that I'm invested in, there was also stocks that I'm not invested in that actually reported some earnings. We had Apple, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Really interesting earnings from them, especially after the video I made about a week ago that absolutely got loads of hate, which I'm going to actually do a response to that video. I'm going to talk about Apple a little bit more. I'll probably split that down into two videos. I'm feeling like I'm going to do a kind of like how the Q4 earnings went, and then an actual response to that video, because it got quite a lot of negativity. It is by far the video that got the most negativity that I've ever done since I've started doing YouTube videos on the stock market. So I am going to do a little bit of a response to that video at some point. So let's get stuck into the Q4 earnings for my favourite stock that I'm currently invested in, which is Alibaba. I just noticed a complete error on this video. I missed an A off Alibaba. I said that in. So, Alibaba. Like I said, I've always said, I feel like this company should definitely be my number one stock in my portfolio. It currently isn't. I kind of like, at some point I wanted to try and invest a bit more in it, and maybe this week I am, with the big dip that happened on Friday. It's been Sunday that I'm recording this video right now. I am feeling like I'm going to sell a couple of shares off in other stocks. I'm not going to name them stocks. I'll do a video on that in a little bit, and I might buy some more shares into Alibaba. Now, after Alibaba actually did its earnings on Friday, which were exceptional, by the way, they were really good. I was so happy with them earnings that they actually did. Alibaba is actually down 8.77% in the last 5 days. It has had a very, very big dip, one of the biggest dips we've seen for quite a while. I think we've had two dips similar to this. One was over the Christmas period, and last time we saw a dip like that, I think it was about 3 months earlier. So it's not often we get these kind of dips, and when these dips happen, it is a great time to be buying in these dips. So we'll go ahead and have a look at a couple of the figures itself in Alibaba, which are absolutely crushing numbers. So first of all, getting stuck into the December, probably one of the biggest times for Alibaba. It made 12.8 billion in revenue, which was up 56% from last year in December. So that's just December. So to be making 12.8 billion and it's up 50%, 56% in December, that's really good. That is really good. I mean, you would say like if it was single digit growth, it's slowing down. Double digit growth, it's still got pretty good growth. 20% growth, that is really good. 30% growth, this company's really killing it. But 56% growth, I'm really happy with that number. And what we can see from the forecast as well, that number is only going to get bigger as we go on. Now, we're probably thinking, well, if we did that in December, 12.8 billion, why is this happening? Why is it going down to 8.77%? I actually don't know really. The only thing that you could kind of see from what they reported, there was only one negative side, which is that they missed EPS. It wasn't by much, it was only slightly missed out. But the reason why EPS was missed is because currently Alibaba is making a lot of crucial investments in their company. The investments that they're making are very good for the company's growth. The cloud market, for example, I like companies that are in the cloud market, and they're exactly doing that. I think one of the things that I read earlier actually about this is that currently in the cloud market for Alibaba, they only actually have one cloud center that manages it all in Europe. So that's kind of a bit like having the one center that's managing the whole of Europe is going to stunt your growth a little bit. And they are starting to fix that out by growing and investing in companies, buying other important things that are going to help their growth. So they are investing in the right areas, and that is the reason why EPS was missed. I thought that would get overlooked because of what they're doing. Clearly it didn't. It must have took an effect. I think Friday was just generally overall a red day for the market, but I thought after earnings, I expected this stock to jump a good 5 or 6%, and it didn't. So I'm not really fussed. It's going to go back up. It's a good time to buy in the dip. Like I say, I'll probably jumble a few shares around, and I might sell in a couple of shares that I'll talk about in a little bit in a video about my portfolio review and say what's going on. So last of all, last figure I want to touch on is the net income for the quarter. We talked about December, I want to talk about the quarter itself. So overall, up 36% for that quarter, up 3.6 billion, pretty good margins there, but up 36% for the quarter, that's really good. Like I say, 10% to 20%, you're like, oh, good double digit growth company. So you're getting into the 30s, and obviously like the high 30s as well, 36. That's still a really good growth that I'm kind of happy with. So that's kind of my opinion overall on Alibaba Q4 earnings. Really happy with them, really good with the figures. Obviously the EPS was missed, but that's just from investments that's going to just even make the company even better than what it was. So they're all doing the right things really, and it's not my number one position at the moment, but probably certainly by the end of the week it could more than likely be my big position. Really big fan of this company, been in it for a long time. I think when I first invested it was around the 130 per share mark, and it's trying to touch into the 200 range at the moment, which I think we could end, we should be there by the end of Q1. So that's my opinion on the Alibaba Q4 earnings, guys. I'll do a few more Q4 earnings this week. Give the video a like, tell me what you think about the Q4 earnings for this stock. I'll see you on the next video.